welcome to the Fruit Snacks Podcast. I'm your host, Emily Wardrop from Drop the Word Life Coaching. I am the T1D Mommas coach. I'm here to help you manage your mental and emotional health while managing your child's diabetes. 2 of my 5 kiddos have been diagnosed, and so I'm very familiar with your struggles, and I don't know where I'd be without these life coaching tools and the gospel of Jesus Christ to get me through the day and night. Thank you for joining me as we journey towards feeling less scared, sad, and stressed, and start feeling more calm, confident, and connected. Let's get started. All right. Good morning, my friends. Does anyone listen to this as early as I record this? It is 6:30 a.m. where I am at this moment in time. Maybe do early morning walks or something. I love listening to podcasts while I walk. I lost my pen. Oh, here it is. Okay. Can't think without a pen in my hand. Okay. So remember a couple of weeks ago where we talked about anger, and that anger is just an emotion. It's okay to feel any emotion. We don't have to shame ourselves for feeling any sort of way or resist it. And actually resisting it is what causes it to escalate even more, all the things, right? About anger specifically. So kind of the thesis of this podcast, of my life's work, actually, my purpose in life right now is to help other T1D moms stop feeling so sad, stressed, and scared, and start feeling more calm, connected, and confident. So even in my thesis, it makes it sound like there's some emotions we don't like, and there's some emotions we do like. And we want less of the ones we don't like, and we want more of the ones we do like, right? Because whether the emotion is bad or not, I mean, we talked about how it's not morally wrong, right? So it's not quote unquote bad, but it definitely feels bad. And it takes a lot of work to not act bad when we're feeling bad, right? So that's what we're talking about with the anger, is that it's so much energy. It's so much, it's just a burning ball of fire in your body that you just feel like you just got to get out, and kids know how to handle their emotions naturally. They just get them out, right? They just scream them out. They hit each other. They punch, they throw things, they slam doors, and we're all inclined to do that too, but we're adults and we've put moral judgment on all those actions, and we don't want to be bad. So we just stuff them instead. So the idea is not necessarily, the idea for sure is to not resist the negative, quote unquote, emotions that we're feeling. But to figure out what the heck to do with them so that they stop escalating and taking over our lives, and that we can feel better more of the time. So we're going to feel all the feels. The goal here is not to become robots that never feel bad and never do bad and never think bad and all the things, right? We are trying to be quote unquote better every day, which means there'd be less bad every day. But the feeling itself, just the feeling before it turns into an action that we judge as bad, the feeling comes from a thought that we've already judged as bad. And so it's all really tricky when we've got morality all mixed in. Do you see that? Anyway, the point is that that I'm kind of a walking contradiction, right? That I'm saying, oh, we're going to stop feeling sad, scared, and stressed, as if those are bad, right? So the way to stop feeling sad, scared, and stressed is with the AAA batteries. We get the awareness of it, right? Usually we're just sort of doing all this stuff on default and we don't even realize, which is why I want you to stop and pay attention to yourself, mama. I know that your attention is demanded by the diabetes, right? And so we have to make a conscious effort to pay attention to ourselves, because otherwise we're just the one on the back burner all the time. And we're back there exploding with anger, and and managing the diabetes is a bigger train wreck when we're a train wreck, right? So so we've got to get the awareness of how we're even feeling. We need awareness of what's going on for us, because literally our time and attention is swallowed up outside of us when we have kids, when we have little kids especially, and then when we have diabetic kids on top of that. So so let's get the awareness of the feelings, and the acceptance piece is so important, so that once we realize how sad, scared, and stressed we are, we don't need to resist it, because it makes it even worse. So it's totally fine that you're feeling stressed. It's totally fine that you're feeling sad. And today, actually, what we're going to focus on is feeling scared. So we talked about feeling angry the other day, a couple of weeks ago. Maybe listen to it the other day. It actually came out the other day, which is why I'm thinking about it when I'm recording this, but it's going to come out in a few weeks. So let's focus on scared today, because there's a lot of that going on when you have this diagnosis in your family. So all that to say, as we focus on not feeling scared, we have to start focusing on it's okay to feel scared. Okay. And so, yes, I'm going to help you feel less sad, stressed, and scared, but we are always going to feel sad, stressed, and scared, and whatever all else, negative emotions, angry, and all the things, right? So we started with anger. Maybe you're angry at God. Maybe you're angry at the government or some conspiracy or something that you've come up with is why your kid has diabetes. Maybe you're just angry. Like there's literally like not even anyone you can blame or shame here. Like at first we try to blame ourselves. We're like, diabetes, but this kid is the one that like eats vegetables and she doesn't even have a sweet tooth. Like how could it have been her? And then you learn about type 1 and you're like, oh, okay, so they're telling me it's not my fault. They're feeding her what are those called? Fruit Loops at the hospital right after she gets diagnosed. I'm like, I'm a little confused about this diagnosis. You learn a little bit more. They try to convince you it's not your fault, try to convince you it's not your husband's fault or grandma's fault or anybody's fault. So then it's like, who do I blame for this? So who am I angry at? Who else is left but God? If it's nobody else's fault, it just happened, then like, is it Byron Katie that says there's your business, God's business, and who else's business? Everyone else. So stay out of everyone else's business, stay out of God's business. And the only thing you can control is your own business, right? And so we feel helpless when it's out of our control. Okay, then it must be God's business. So we're mad at him, right? Why are we back on angry? We're trying to talk about scared. Anyway, there's a whole nother podcast about angry if you want to go back to that one, if you haven't heard that one yet. So scared, on the other hand, is looking forward, right? Like we feel scared about events that have not occurred yet. When we're feeling nervous, scared, anxious, those are looking to the future thoughts, because our feelings come from our thoughts. If you're new to the podcast, if you're new to life coaching and you need a second to really digest that phrase in itself is mind blowing and life altering. Did you know where your feelings came from? They come from your thoughts. So if you're feeling scared, you're thinking something about the future in a doom, doom, doom sort of way. You're feeling scared. Well, basically, at the heart of it, we're scared when our kids have diabetes because we think they're going to die. And literally, our brains are made to keep us alive. That is the purpose of your human brain, is to protect you and keep you alive. And then you have offspring that are literally flesh of your flesh. And so your brain is wired to keep them alive too and keep them safe. And there's a huge threat. There is a tiger in the room all the time because your child has diabetes. Like there's a threat to their life all the time. And so that is very hyper arousing to your nervous system. So we're going to talk about that today, how to rein that all in. Okay, so first of all, you feel scared because you're thinking what? We've got to get the awareness piece first, right? The first AAA battery is awareness. So we get awareness that we're feeling scared a lot, right? We're aware that we can't sleep at night because we're so freaked out about this. We're aware that once we fall asleep, we have some scary dream and we jump back awake, and or the monitor beeps and we jump awake, and then it takes a really long time to get ourselves calmed down enough to get back to sleep, right? We're aware that we're scared, right? What do we do with that? Well, first of all, after the fact, you can go up and do the thought work, right? But in the heat of the moment, what you do is emotion work. So you just feel scared. Like we talked about with the anger. Anger is like a fire in your whole body and it's very powerful. Scared is pretty powerful too. And we don't like to feel it. It feels terrible. But literally, it's not going to kill you. Again, your brain is trying to keep you safe. So even the emotion is so strong in your body, your brain thinks this is a threat. I'm in danger. I don't want to feel this. I got to get rid of this ASAP. So you go eat a cookie, because that's actually a really good way to get stuff and emotion, right? You stuff your tummy, you're stuffing the emotion down. It's effective for a second, And then you think the thoughts again, and then you feel the feelings again. And there aren't enough Oreos in the sleeve to keep you from feeling scared, right? You're just causing your own type 2 at that point. So what do we do instead? You just feel it. You get into your body and feel scared. Okay. So there's thought work, there's nervous system work, there's all sorts of things. But in the heat of the moment, what you need is body work. So you get in your body, you try to get out of your brain, you get in your body and figure it out. And the way life coaches like to describe how you do this is still in your brain. It's like, how does it feel? What does it look like? Is it spiky? Is it soft? Is it green? Is it brown? Like, what color is it? What texture is it? Where is it in your body? Where do you feel it? Is it moving? Like, we're using our brain to try to figure out how a feeling feels. It's so interesting. So I like to think of that as phase 2. So phase 1, you're stuck in your head. You can't even get out of the thought loops that are making you feel scared. So we're like, okay, get out of your brain and into your body. And then with your brain, describe what's going on in your body. See how that's like a step in the right direction? And then ultimately, and one really effective tool for doing this is meditation. The whole point of meditation is to kind of try to slow down your brain and get into your body. And so the breath, right, is the number one tool for helping you do that. So focus on your breathing. And that's what you do. That's what I do with my kid at night when she's scared, when she's stuck in her little thought loops and she's feeling anxious about things that don't make any sense. So there's no point in trying to reason with her because she's too tired. Her brain is shut off and it's just on some thought loop that's making her feel scared. So what we do is we just sit there and feel scared. And how do you feel scared? You focus on your breathing. So it's not like we're trying to get the feeling to go away. We're actually just trying to feel it, receive the message that the emotion is giving us, and let it pass. So especially when it's a scary emotion, like scared, we feel scared. We want to get rid of that. That does not feel good. So just relax into it. Breathe. Focus on your breath. Focus on the inhale. Focus on the exhale. Focus on the space between the two. Do like exaggerated breaths and then go back to just letting your body breathe normal and just focus on the breath, right? So if you need help with that, there's a million options for free guided meditations on the internet, on your phone. There's my meditation app of choice is called Co-Create. So go check that one out. Yeah. So you just feel it. In the heat of the moment, that's what you do. You just feel scared. You breathe and you don't resist against the emotion. You allow it, right? Second AAA battery, acceptance, allowance. I kind of have 4 AAA batteries. The second one has both of those A's. Love you. We already kissed and prayed and everything before I came in here, but there he goes. Have a great day. Okay, so in the heat of the moment, you feel scared. After the fact, you can go back and figure out what were the thoughts that were making me feel scared. Well, thoughts like my kid is going to die. Diabetes is the worst. I can't sleep. What if, right? Scared thoughts usually start with what if, because it's a future thought. You're thinking about something that might happen in the future. Your brain is wired to do this. You are not crazy. You're not wrong. It's not a problem. It's just your brain doing what your brain does. So we allow it, right? We let our brain be our brain with love and acceptance, which, by the way, is Brooke Snow's whole thing on the Co-Create app. I love and accept, right? So we're going to love and accept ourselves, love and accept our kids, love and accept God, love and accept our husbands, love and accept the diabetes maybe at some point. But for now, we're just going to at least accept it. Okay, so accepting the fear right now is what we're talking about, feeling scared, right? So we feel fear. That's fine. We don't have to love it, but we are going to accept that that is happening, because when you resist reality, you lose, but only every time. Is that another Byron Katie? So just feel it. After the fact, figure out what the thoughts are. Okay, so what are you thinking? You're thinking my kid's going to die. It might be a more complicated version of that thought, but somehow that's the thought, right? Hold on, let me wave to my neighbor. It's really dark in my room, but I still like to open the shades. So it's basically like a big TV screen up on the hill with the neighborhood below. Somebody's going to work. Bye. Have a great day. Okay. So let's not resist it, because resisting an emotion makes it worse. Can I say that again? What you resist persists. So you want to get rid of scared, stop resisting it, because what you resist persists. It will persist. Emotions are like toddlers pulling on your shorts. Like, mom, 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 mom. The more you ignore them, the louder and more annoying they get, right? You acknowledge them. Okay. So while you're doing this breathing, you're like, okay, I feel scared. Yes, I feel scared. I'm sure I have a good reason why I feel scared right now. I'm just trying to focus on my breathing and my breath, whatever. Yep. Feel scared. I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling scared. But if you can't get into your body and you're ready to do some thought work, or after you've breathed for a while, you start to get the message, right? So you're like, okay, body, what is this fear trying to tell me? I know you think my kid's going to die. I know the beeping just went off. Yeah, they were a little bit low. We gave them some juice. They're going to be fine. You kind of talk to your brain like you acknowledge the toddler. You acknowledge what the brain is trying to tell you. Like you talk to anyone. Everyone just wants to be acknowledged. They're sharing some sort of communication and they want to know, has the message been received, right? But most adults kind of stop pulling on your shorts and saying it over and over and over and over. So mostly that's a toddler thing. Hold on just a sec. So what is the anger trying to tell you? It's a message. It's a very important message because your brain is wired to keep you safe and to keep your kids safe, and your child is in danger. So you just have to continue to remind your brain that I'm safe, my child's safe. She had some juice, the numbers are going up. It's okay. I can get back to sleep, right? Because resisting it persists it. And layered emotions, scared, fear is kind of one of those primary emotions. It's kind of tender, it's kind of vulnerable. So we cover it up with anger that we talked about a couple weeks ago. But resisting fear is anxiety. That's what anxiety is. So scared fear is a fear of something happening in the future that we're trying to be preventative about. Our brain thinks that that's a thing. And it kind of is, but to a point, it's not useful anymore. And it just turns into anxiety. So anxiety is like this uncontrollable thought loop in our brain that's worried about something in the future that we cannot control anymore because we have just let our brains out of control, right? And so sometimes it's like diagnosable, clinical, whatever, medicated anxiety, because the brain just does what the brain does on its own. And it's very hard to control our brains with our own brains, right? And so it is unbelievably amazing what they've figured out in neuroscience about this stuff and how they can actually change your brain with drugs. I think it is fascinating. I think it's amazing. And I think it's a modern day miracle. And so if your anxiety is out of control, go for it, get some outside help. Once you've kind of got that dialed in and you're back to like, okay, I think I can like manage my own thoughts a little bit. That's what we're talking about, right? Because I'm clearly no drug dealing shrink, right? I'm your life coach. That's like out of my pay grade, right? So if you're having chronic diagnosed clinical anxiety, please get the medical professional help you need to help with your brain and continue. There's all sorts of life coaching clients who also work with a psychologist, who also have a therapist, whatever. Therapy and coaching go hand in hand really well, all the things. Because we have brain patterns from, lots of things we've even inherited, right? So there's nature and nurture going on here. And there's, generational trauma. There's all the things, right, that have made us who we are. Gonna wave to another neighbor. Bye, have a great day at work. And so there's also lots of help, lots of support, lots of modalities. Like I said, meditation. When I was in the throes of like, should I get diagnosed for ADHD? Anyone who listens to my podcast is like, yes, please. Then maybe you could stay on one train of thought for longer than 30 seconds. I'm like, I'm going to try meditation instead of medication. Anyway, whatever. There's lots of things to try. Go for it. Try them all. Life coaching, I'm a huge fan. Try that too. I do free consultations, so you can try coaching anytime. No strings attached. Just try it. Anyway, the point is that anxiety is resisted scared, right? We're talking about scared today. So fear of something happening in the future. If that runs wild, it turns into anxiety in the future. Side note, because um, depression is the same thing looking into the past, is what they say. I've heard this. Like anxiety is future, depression is past. So resisting some of the sad, right? Because sad is a topic for another day. We're going to feel less sad. We feel sad about things that have happened in the past. And when you resist that, it escalates into depression. So if we haven't escalated into clinical anxiety or depression, which could happen very subconsciously, right? We're trying to get awareness of what's going on in our brain. That's a pretty intense task because our brains are crazy, amazing computers that the algorithms are even more complicated than man-made algorithms on man-made computers. Like this is the most intense God-made computer hanging out in your head, right? So good luck trying to figure it out. But that's what we do in coaching is we attempt the impossible and to try to, control our thoughts, right? And we have access to some of them. So we do what we can. A lot of them, not so much. And that's where the neuroscientists take over. And again, modern miracles that can help you with your anxiety or depression when it's at that point. But when it's just scared, you feel scared, what you need to do is shorten your lens. You need to get present. So if anxiety is worried about the future, depression is sad about the past, getting present is the solution. You breathe, you get present, you meditate, you get into this current moment, you shorten your lens. You're scared because you're thinking too far into the future. So shorten your lens, come back to today, come back to this moment, come back to this second. What needs to be done right this second? Well, their Dexcom just went off. You need to get out of bed and go check it. You don't need to freak out and lay in bed freaking out. Just get up, see what the number says. It's just data. It's not drama. It's just data. It's just a number. And then take care of what you need to do about that number. It might be beeping like crazy because it's too high. That is the worst. Get on a pump, people. That's the solution. That's what my husband said a couple of weeks ago, remember? A solution to everything. It really, really helps. Anyway, okay, so shorten your lens, get present. That's what all the breathing's about. That's why in this current moment, you just feel scared. Shorten your lens. You feel scared because of thoughts about the future. Then let's get your brains back on the present. In this present moment, your child is okay. This is a mantra you need to say to yourself over and over and over to calm down your brain, calm down your nervous system, calm down your body. We are safe. I am safe. She is safe. He is safe. We are safe. Your brain is craving safety, and you have diabetes in your house all the time. That is a tiger. Brains don't like tigers. Tigers kill us, right? So we have to reprogram our nervous systems to remind ourselves that we are safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. Okay. So shorten your lens. Remind yourself that you are safe right now. Your child is safe. They're just sleeping. Look up peacefully. They're asleep. Don't you want to be asleep too? Peace. That's what we do at Drop the War Life Coaching. We drop the war with the diabetes to create peace in our parenting. Just drop the war. You're not at war. There's no tiger. You are safe. You're safe. It's just diabetes. It's fine. We live in 2024 in a magical age with so much technology to help us. Your child is safe. You are safe. Go back to bed, mama. You got this. I should record a sleeping meditation for diabetic moms. Oh goodness. Here we go. I guess I'll have to do that. Okay, so here's the thing. When you're shortening your lens and you're getting present, all you need to do is the next right step, right? Like we learned from Anna in Frozen 2, right? What is the next right thing to do? I get caught up on that word, right. It's back to feeling like a moral issue, right and wrong, right? Choose the right. It's a moral issue. You have to do what's right. That's a lot of pressure. Do you feel the pressure of that statement? Do you feel the pressure of that ring on your finger to choose the right? How do you know it's right? Trying to make a correct decision leads to indecision. I've seen this time and time and time and time and time and time and time again in coaching. Indecision comes from people having too much pressure with the thought, I have to make the right decision. You do not have to make the right decision in that moment, mama. You just need to make a decision and go with it. Because guess what? You have a Dexcom and it will tell you if you made the wrong decision in a few minutes, right? You get a, if you have a Dexcom, I mean, if you're still pricking fingers, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. And good luck and get on a Dexcom or whatever, CGM, right? I'm certainly not getting paid by Dexcom. That'd be fun. They should pay me. Anyway, okay, so you don't have to do the right thing. You just need to do something that'll get you into action because your nervous system is in fight or flight or freeze or fawn, right? So if you are frozen with fear, that's what we're talking about today, scared. If the beeping goes off and you're scared and you have thoughts like, I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. What did the doctor tell me to do? I don't know what to do. My baby's going to die. All of those thoughts are hijacking your brain. You need your brain to calculate carbs, to calculate all the things that you need to calculate to manage the diabetes. So do not let your brain get hijacked by your nervous system. Breathe, right? You don't even have to be like, oh my gosh, what did that podcast say that I'm supposed to do? I don't even know. Oh, there's so much. No, there's not so much. Breathe. Breathing is how you regulate yourself so that your brain can come back online and you can take care of what needs to be done. Do the next step. Forget the next right thing. Just do the next step. Okay. So what's the next step? Shorten your lens to right this second. What do I need to do right now? Don't let your brain catastrophize and go to my kid's going to die in the future. In the right now, she's fine. Even if she's not fine, even if she's so low that like you got to use your glucagon shot, you got to call 911, whatever you got to do, she's still fine. Like there's those options. There are still options. Your child is fine. Your child is alive. You're okay. She's okay. What is the next step? Okay. That is what you do with scared. Scared is telling you there's a threat. You acknowledge the threat and you take care of the threat and the scared goes away because your brain is like, okay, message received. When we spin in it, then we resist it, then it persists, then it becomes anxiety, then you can't sleep. Okay. And you can't eat and you can't survive your day and you can't live life anymore. And literally diabetes ruined your life. But the purpose of this podcast is to help you keep diabetes from ruining your life. Your life. Okay. And your kids' lives and your husband's life and your neighbors and everyone around you because they're all tired of hearing about how scared you are. Okay. But not me. I'm okay. I'll hear it. Come tell me how scared you are and we won't resist it. We will feel it. We will acknowledge it. And then, and only then, we can move on and feel less of it. Okay. All right. So this is something I used to say, a little cute little mantra I used to say on Sunday nights to my roommates when they would start dreading tomorrow. And I probably made it up long before I used it on my roommates. I'm sure I use it on myself forever. So do you get the Sunday night blues sometimes, like dreading Monday morning? If you work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, you know what I'm talking about. So Sunday night is the worst because all of a sudden the weekend's over, the reality of Monday morning is coming, and you feel that dread. Dread, that's a future thought. You're dreading tomorrow, okay? So that dread of tomorrow is kind of like the scared of tomorrow that we're talking about. Holy moly, I got to wrap up. I only have 3 minutes left. We're going to have to make a part 2. Okay, no, we can get through this. All right, so the dread, what you do with that? Oh, did I even say the mantra? Okay, don't think about tomorrow till tomorrow. It ruins today. So don't think about in 5 minutes, like at the next Dexcom read. It's ruining this 5 minutes, right? So the way you narrow your lens is you don't think about tomorrow till tomorrow. It's ruining today for you. Like, let's get present, people. Just enjoy today. Your child is fine. You're fine. Everybody's fine. It's okay. And it's okay that you feel scared. We're not resisting it, but we're just reminding our brains after we receive the message, yes, I know you think that my kid is going to die. And guess what? She's not. And if there's emergency tomorrow, we'll take care of it tomorrow. But pre-freaking out about it today is only ruining today. So, like I said, your brain thinks that being preventative is helpful, and I promise it's really kind of not. It is helpful to like go to the doctor, learn things, whatever. But doing things out of freak out, out of fear, in your fear brain, you're like your fear brain is not even a thing. That's your nervous system, and it's hijacked your brain. So what you need to be preventative is to, actually, we may need to do a part 2, because we're going to go all into how to reprogram the nervous system so that you can actually feel more safe and less scared. So join us next week for part 2 of Scared. Part 2. Woo, doesn't that sound fun? All right, thanks for listening. Make sure to give it a 5-star rating so more T1D Mommas can find me. Bye. Hey, T1D moms. Was that episode helpful? I put together a free video for you with my top 3 brain hacks for T1D moms. Check it out at dropthewar.com/top3. Having a child with diabetes is hard enough. Let's not make it any harder with the way we're thinking about it all. Get my free top 3 brain hacks for T1D moms video at dropthewar.com/top3. See you there. Hello, my sweet T1D parent friend. The next time you catch yourself thinking that you can't do this anymore, redirect your brain to Philippians 4:13 and remind yourself that you can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you. As your life coach, I'm here to be a conduit to help you get your brain and body aligned in order for your spirit to clearly communicate with His Spirit to become your own diabetes parenting expert. Go to dropthewar.com/appointments for your complimentary coaching session, and let's do this thing.